Alright, back. The strip down has started. So when I bought this shell, I just bought the shell, none of the running gear, none of the suspension, none of the wheels, nothing. But obviously it's a lot easier to move in between two places if you can actually roll it. So the guy I bought off was cool enough to say, you know, once you get it all sorted, rip all the stuff off, send it back. So that's what I've done today. Here is everything that's going back. He's got his wheels there, his conies. They are really small. When I first took them off, I was used to my big four-wheel drive suspension, which is more that size at the front. Anyway, took it all off, which makes everything in here a lot easier to access when I'm popping panels. That one there looks like it's been off before. Anyway, yeah, easy to pop panels off, which I've started here. For anyone out there that's ever done this here, where you drill out the spot welds, it is tedious. You'll find that unless you're careful, you see this one here, you bust straight through both panels. A lot of the time you're not going deep enough. That's horrid. Yeah, you're not going deep enough, and then you get your chisel out and you're trying to bash away and you end up bending all the metal. I think this is my first attempt here, so I reckon it looks alright. I wasn't too precious about this panel because it's not really a high priority panel. It's these guys here that I really want to get off as best I can. So yeah, all the steering box and everything's out. That's over there. There. What else? Oh, everything under here is out, diffs out. I haven't taken the what are they? Level bars they are. Can't remember what they're called now. Suspension out. So it's all pretty easy actually. Working on this. So yeah, I'll drop all this off to him tomorrow, because obviously I don't want it sitting in the middle of my garage, because I really want to get started now ripping this whole front end off, because I'm running out of time. Got to get it done before March next year, and I still have to get all that off and onto this one here. So that's where I'm at now. I took a small pause from popping that panel off. I was going to start taking this panel off next, probably. Yeah, I think they've welded in this panel over the top. You can see it's sort of welded through there. It's a pretty solid panel. So unfortunately, there's spot welds under here holding this panel on. So I'm trying to figure out if it's easier for me to take this panel and this panel off as one, or try to grind that back and I don't know. I'll have to get it. That was another reason why it was sort of good timing to pull everything out from under the guards there, because then I can get a good look under there and see how it actually all goes together. Because strangely, there is not a lot online about how to dismantle these Fiat Sports. It'd be nice if they had a massive blow up where you said, well, there's this panel connects to this panel and a panel in there, and then this all gets stitched there, and there's a little lip here. No, not really any of that I could find. So sort of figuring out as I go how all these panels come together to make this whole front end. But so that's where we're at. Crap off. Car is now up on stands. So yeah, committed now. I originally was reluctant to get all this stuff off, because as soon as all this is off, that thing's not moving. Well, it can move, but it's going to be a real pain in the ass. It'd probably involve trolley jack at the front, a trolley jack at the back, and then wiggling it around. But now that it's up on the stands, it's go time. Go start getting all this stuff off. Because we're currently looking to buy a house, and tell you what, if we buy a house and I have to start moving a car with no wheels, that car, and all of this other crap, it's going to be a nightmare. But do what you got to do. Alright, so that is it for today. Alright, this is proving a lot harder than I initially thought it would be. So most people, when they take these quarter panels off here, they will just cut straight through there, cut down there, forfeit all this sort of stuff just to get these panels off. I, on the other hand, have chosen to drill out every tack weld. And yes, I know that looks horrendous in there. I did try using the spot weld drill bit remover. Lasts about 4 welds, and then it's blunt, and then you're just mashing it up anyway. So I decided to just go with the other method, which is using a smaller drill bit and gradually increasing the size till you pop through. So you can see it's sort of, light's crap. You can sort of see there and there. It's not pretty, but the way I figure it is that you can replace all this once it's off anyway. So you have to pop all them off, come down here. Ooh, get the light right. Pop these ones off, pop those ones off. Down here, this is it's like brass or something. I've seen it on other parts of the car, but you got to cut through that. These welds down here to get it. This actually goes through into there. These parts here, so it flips back in on itself through here. They are impossible to get to. So what I did is I got a really thin Dremel cut blade and went straight down the guts of that. There's no other way I was going to get it off. So then with all them off, next you got it's another one of those brass welds or whatever it is through there. So you got to cut straight along that joint there. This is a pain in the ass through here. So once you cut down here where you think this panel will join up, you realise it's still not coming off because it's actually attached to this panel. So what they've done is they lap them over the top of each other, and then they must bang it with this brass welding through there. So what you have to do is you have to cut it down and then grind it back until you can see the 2 layers of metal coming up through here. Then get your chisel in between the 2 layers and just tap it out like this. And then that's how you separate these two. But you can see in this bit here, I haven't ground it back enough, so I can't actually how's it going to focus? I can't actually see the 2 bits of metal through there yet. So I have to grind that back. And then I've got to free it up through there. These are all popped off down here. Through this section here, there's another bit of that brass welding. I'm assuming it's brass. Might be something else. Looks like brass. Through there. This bit here, I'm pretty sure that just slides. This bit slides in behind this bit, in behind there. So then, in theory, I've just got to bust off these spot welds along the bottom here, and then I'm hoping, fingers crossed, this whole panel will come off. It's all a bit of a learning curve here, because as I said, there doesn't seem to be any footage on the internet of how these all get put together, in what stage, because you can see here this panel here flicks over and then spot rivets to this lip here, but then this lip here only goes down, comes back and stops there, and then this is spot riveted to this, because underneath here this comes up and then flicks up. Coming along here this actually comes up here. There's the edge of the panel until it hits this point where you've got a plate here. It hits that point, and then all of a sudden it has its own lip that comes up through here. So this lip here is part of this panel. This lip here is part of that other panel. So this comes along here like this, and then has a section that kicks up, a lip that comes up and then back down. Anyway, that's where we're at. I wanted to get this panel off today, but it just takes time. So I'm hoping to get it off tomorrow. The other side will be a lot quicker because I already know how to get this one off. Well, I'll know how to get that one off after I've got this one here off. And that's where we're at. So, there you go.